Hello Pisces friends, I'm Annie Botticelli and welcome to my Pisces July 2021 Astrology Must Knows. Definitely go to anniehelpsyou.com to see my growing list of free monthly goodies that I have for you. You can see the full list with links there at anniehelpsyou.com. You can see ways that you can get even more insights into the month ahead, but we are going to go into a lot of details now. So the first must know is that if you are a Pisces sun, a Pisces rising, Pisces moon, or even if you go deeper into your chart and you have Pisces Venus or Mars, this report is for you. The second thing is if your birthday is in the late degree Pisces range, so that's basically March 11th or so through the rest of the sign, then I also recommend that you watch my Aries report or listen to my Aries report, because you late degree people often have a more complex read and you will need to have more information to get you a fuller picture of your astrological view. Okay, so what's going on in the stars? The first most exciting must know is that we are starting to step out of the shock and stress and anxiety and wildness of the eclipse season. You will start to see this kind of tapering off and your new normal coming from the changes that the eclipses have brought. And there is a chance that you will still get some new eclipse news or new eclipse information in the afterquakes of the eclipse season this month, but for the most part, it's starting to taper off and calm down. So that's very exciting. The next must know is that this month, after around the 7th, so after like July 7th, the first week, we are out of the Mercury retrograde post-transit shadow, which means that the confusion, the uncertainty, the backpedaling, the things being called into question, deals being, not going through, and just overall difficulty in planning for the future, not being able to see more than a few steps ahead of you, that came with the May and June timeframe. That's all tapering off now after the first week of July, and we are opening our brilliant period for all of the rest of July, all of August through the first week or so of September, that it will be easier to make plans. You'll have much more oomph, more things that are very well supported during this brilliant launch period from around July 7th or around September 8th are engagements, weddings, big parties, travel, major plans, big agreements, major expensive purchases, redesign, redecorating, anything having to do with agreements, starting new businesses, adding different divisions onto businesses, looking for jobs, finding jobs, changing work, anything bold, anything important, moving, like your physical house where you live, your housing, selling houses, buying houses, anything like that, investing, all of those types of things are the things that are amazing to do in this brilliant launch period from around July 7th through around September 8th, kind of those dates in there. So basically most of July, all of August, and the first part of September is just free flow in the stars. And this is a month of bold decisions. Many reasons for this. Top of my list is that we've got a conjunction of Venus and Mars. Venus and Mars don't travel together often, and when they do, they are in close proximity for a few weeks at a time. So that's predominantly happening here in July, and it's happening in the sign of Leo. So for everybody, this is bringing zesty creativity, zesty, passionate energy, either for your partner, romance sizzling, true love sizzling, or for your projects. It can also be in the area of children or creative babies. And if you're trying to take more of a leadership role or trying to step out and do something bold, whether it's with your fashion, your appearance, your work, your family, this could be a time when this shows up in a big way. And this is true for every placement in the zodiac, and it's extra true for the March-born Pisces, because not only will you have this conjunction of Leo energies with Venus and Mars, just from the conjunction being together for a few weeks, that energy is also going to take place for March-borns in the house of Leo. So just add to it a whole bunch of extra zest. But the goodies are available to everybody, and you definitely will see things sizzling. With Venus and Mars going through the same sign, I like to liken this to family members that are in agreement about something, or like people that are close to you that are on the same page. It just is so much more harmonious, so much more peaceful. So kind of like, let's say you have a best friend and then a parent who always seem to be at odds with each other, and they're not in agreement about anything, and they always both guide you different ways, and you're always confused and you don't know, what to do. But at this time, you've got two things close to you, two people, forces close to you that are saying the same things and are working together to help you with the same things. So it can be much more comforting and supportive and give you a lot more clarity and direction and energy and certainty about what you're going to do, and with help and support to do it. Now, in a lot of ways, I'm thinking, hoping that this could offset some of the very emotional energies that Cancer tends to bring. Now, as a Pisces, you don't have to fear those Cancer energies, because in general, they make beautiful aspects with your placement, the most favorable in all of astrology, which we'll get to in a moment. But sometimes that excess of emotion can just be excess, and even if it's good stuff, it can still be overwhelming because of just the sheer amount of it. But with all of this energy and fire, it definitely can offset some of the heaviness that the emotion can bring, or getting lost in the emotion. And it can be like the energy of a pot being brought up to a boil. So meaning all of the emotions and feelings that you have and the ideas that you have will have this fire under that water pot, that you can have it be more productive and just bubble over with enthusiasm and productivity and forward movement. So it's very exciting. You may also see, and this will be for all of you, but it will be staggered. So for those of you earlier in the spectrum, so like the early degrees, 0 to 9 degrees, or the February born Pisces, you'll start to see your health sector be lit up in a big way. And the rest of you will see this, but it will be as the month of July moves on. Okay, so you might, if you're later in the sign, you might not feel this heating up until later in the month. So getting things on track with your health and your stress management and your organization definitely coming into the picture. Okay, so we've got a few Pluto oppositions this month, and that is going to bring opportunities to confront people or entities, whether they're in business or government or whatever it is. If you're having an issue with a control battle with somebody, then those could be brought into the front and center at this time, but there is a lot of energy supporting a positive resolution, okay? So if you're feeling tensions rise, then just know this might be a time to speak your truth if it's safe for you. If you're not in a safe space, then you might have to do some work on creating a safe space, and you'll have a lot of extra support for that this month as well. But these Pluto oppositions can often bring some tensions up, but what they can also bring is finally a rectification of issues that were inside of you. So like you're torn between this and this, or you're trying to do something but you feel blocked. Sometimes those inner struggles get reflected in our outer experience. And so we think that somebody else is doing something to us, but really it's something we may have to overcome internally. But again, you'll have the support to pull that through. Okay, so for back to this energy in Cancer. So Cancer energies create a trine, the most favorable aspect in all of astrology, with your Pisces placement. So you'll be getting kisses from the sun, you'll be getting kisses from Mercury, and the kisses can look like boosts to your anything, your creativity, your relationships, your money, your way of looking at the world. It could be increases in optimism. It could be increases of flow and synchronicity. It could be increases in your intuition. So just kind of look out for those lesser seen realms that Pisces is so well attuned. Really trust your intuition right now. Really spend some time in your alone, like quiet space, because most Pisces I know are empaths, and empaths have a very difficult time differentiating between their feelings and other people's feelings. And thoughts even could be very, very psychic and, reading people's minds, and that can benefit you. But if you are surrounded by too much and too many people too often without having a break in between, then it can mess with you, and you start to think that you're sad or you're overwhelmed when it could just be somebody that you pass in the grocery store. Okay, so make sure to take your quiet time, and you might be very productive spiritually. You might have spiritual breakthroughs, and that is all very exciting. So Mercury is going to be continuing to bring this information to your home sector. This has already been going on because Mercury has been in retrograde. So you've kind of had this long period of time of having your home and family sector accentuated. So Mercury is going to continue doing that this month. And because the planets are moving, Mercury is going to get into Cancer, which rules the 4th house, and the sun is going to be moving through Cancer. You're going to have extra news with the real estate, with your home-based work or other projects, with your family of origin or your ancestry or anything like that. Home and family news is going to be front and center. You might be traveling to see them or traveling with your family. Those are also combinations of energies that are very strong this month. So if you've been hoping to get back to see family and friends and have been stopped from coronavirus issues, many people are going to have a chance to have that advancement in travel. Of course, this is going to be specific to different people in different areas in the world, going to have different stories, but there's much support through the astrology that many Pisces placements are going to have a lot of doses of home, whatever that looks like for you. Okay, so let's see. Now this month we've got twice as many salty transits as we do sweet ones. But again, this is nothing that you have to fear. Most of the transits are very short-lived. They're little bumps. And when this happens, where this ratio is like this, it means you have to work a little harder to get your goodies and work a little harder to make your gold. But that can be okay, because sometimes you need to have the impetus to do something. Like you've been dealing with something, you've been thinking about something, and then aspects like this come and they push you into action. This month is very much about being pushed into action, and it will help you to do something with the eclipse news that had already come in if you couldn't do anything with that news already. We're also going to have some oppositions with Jupiter. Now, fortunately, Jupiter is the great benefic. So anytime we have a challenging aspect with Jupiter, that means that it's more likely to be like a good kind of annoying. So for instance, Jupiter oppositions can often bring excessive indulgence. And sometimes this is very much needed and very much enjoyed and very much something that you'll remember for a long time. If you're prone to excess in a way that's not good for you through addictions and things like that, then be extra careful this month. If that person from your life who you always seem to get in trouble with invites you out, this might be a month to not do that if you know you're prone to getting in trouble with them. But we're talking about how you can push this into good things, okay? So like, let's say you're trying to change your diet. You can go on an exercise bender where you lose a bunch of weight, or you can make really positive changes working on an issue that's been a problem for you for a long time. So the more you channel this excess energy into something positive and productive, that's how you can get the most of the potentials. Okay, so being a water or earth sign this month means that you've got extra kisses coming, and that's because we've got 5 extra special aspects that are happening within the realm of water and earth, which are making sweet angles for your placement. And this is going to be for early, middle, and late degree Pisces, because from 1 degree to 23 degrees, and even that 23 degree one will send some whispers to the even later degrees. So these aspects are basically happening between 1 and 23 degrees with some extra in each direction. So that means the whole spectrum of Pisces is going to get one or more of these extra special kisses this month, okay? The first one is on July 9th, and this has to do with the new moon in Cancer. So the closer you are to 18 degrees, so that's basically like the days around March 8th, we'll say like around March 3rd through March 13th especially, and the closer to around the 8th, or if you're watching for your moon or rising or some other degree, the closer to the 18th, so like 13 degrees through 23 degrees of your placement sign, then you'll get the biggest kisses from this new moon in Cancer. Now on the 12th, we've got a kiss from Mercury and Jupiter. Jupiter is just getting into Pisces for the first time in almost 12 years, and it's going to be there for a little while, but it will give you some whispers into what you can expect when Jupiter goes full bore through Pisces next year. And so those of you, everyone can have kisses from this, but those of you especially in like the February born, you're more likely to have the kisses from this particular aspect, and that is on the days around the 12th. Then we've got on the 15th, the Sun and Neptune getting together. Those of you close to the 23 degrees, again, we'll say between 18 degrees and 28 degrees, and the closer to 23 degrees. And this is basically like around the 13th of the month. You've got extra kisses there from that placement. Then we've got another one on the 20th with Mercury and Uranus. And this is for, again, everybody, but especially favoring those of you close to 14 degrees. So we'll say around 9 degrees through 19 degrees, the closer to 14 degrees, the better. And that's going to be the days around March 4th. So like the very end of February through like March 9th, the closer to March 4th, the more goodies from that. And the last one is the 24th of July, and that's where we have a trine with Mercury and Neptune. And that's again going to be in the later degree section, the 22 degrees. But those of you in the middle degree, you might feel some of this. So like, let's see, 17 degrees through 27 degrees, the closer to 22 degrees, you've got those kisses there. Okay. If you want a full write-up of all of the sweet and salty aspects, their dates and things you might expect to see from them, then definitely go to anniehelpsyou.com and sign up for my free email newsletter, and you'll get my write-up monthly where I give you more details about the dates. But just know that regardless of where you are in the spectrum, the Pisces spectrum, you are going to have lots of extra goodies this month. If you want to have more information about the eclipses, then watch my May and June videos, because I went into lots of details and also sent out references for additional information about how those eclipses might hit you, because you might still see news coming in and you'll want to be up on that. All right, let's see what else I wanted to talk about for Pisces. So Jupiter is still retrograde, and that's going to be until October. But one of the most important must-knows for this is that if you are a Pisces placement right at the beginning of the sign, you are getting Jupiter kisses, and you're going to have several Jupiter kisses the earlier in the sign you are. So we'll say February born, but really like the earlier degrees, like the, February 19th, 20th through the 24th or so, you'll be getting extra kisses from Jupiter. And those are big, long-lasting kisses that can be really laying the groundwork for a major expansion over the next 12 years. All of the rest of the Pisces, don't despair. You can still get kisses from Jupiter just being in your sign, because from the whole house perspective, it is accentuating your image. This is for all of you, your image, your health, your physical body, anything having to do with how you show up in the world and want people to know you as, your notoriety, and your creativity and your self-esteem and your perspectives. Often Jupiter going into one sign can help you to have more optimism. And so you're getting little tastes in these summer months, winter for you all down under, about what it's going to be like next year when Jupiter goes full bore through your sign. So it is a very exciting time when Jupiter is in our sign. It's a rare blessing, and we're starting to feel that now for your Pisces placements. If you would like even more information about the starry opportunities ahead, then definitely go to anniehelpsyou.com and sign up for my free email newsletter list. I only send out a few emails a month, and they are all chock full of how you can make the most of the starry opportunities. Plus, you get all kinds of other VIP freebies and extra exclusive things by being a member of my email list. Since most of the work I do for you is free, it's hard to sometimes keep track of everything I do. I do have information when you click on the More button on this video, or if you're listening to the podcast version, in the notes underneath the podcast, you can connect in with all of these free things I do, the podcast, the videos, the blogs, the interviews, and all kinds of goodies. And now at anniehelpsyou.com, right on the front page, I have a better organized list of all of these resources, so you can check that monthly and be taking advantage of all the things I do for you. If you would like to be an astrologer as your profession, make sure that you go to loomlife.com, lume.life.com, my school, Luminous Life Multiversity. You will find free courses there as well. And you will find my paid courses. And one of the paid courses is this astrology program, Becoming a Professional Astrologer Mastery course. If you think I put a lot of details into my free offerings, you should see what I do in my paid offerings. It's really, really, really comprehensive. So I can definitely teach you everything you need to know to be a successful professional astrologer earning money for your love for astrology. So I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll see you next month. Bye.